never going to do a dual boiler, and we're never going to do steam. So the thing, I I don't know if I actually want to cover this because I've written extensively on it. So I'll just say very quickly that steam on boilers is actually not great. It's got a lot of problems. It's actually quite wet. It peters out. Um, and so the steam that we're able to do on the machine over here, let's see if it's powered up. I mean, it's just much better than you will ever get a boiler. It's 170 Celsius at 5 bar. The maximum a boiler is allowed to do is 2.8 bar of pressure. So by having open to atmosphere steam, okay.
But like a dual boiler, I guess just the ability to do both, but
It
not
can't
the actual
because of
boiler.
power. So this machine
Oh, okay.
here, this is running 10 amp steam. Okay, so
Okay.
10 amp on a 230 line, and it's awesome. So I'm 21 seconds to heat 200 mils of milk, which is like a commercial machine. That's quite good. The microfoam is really good because it's super dry. So in order for you to make espresso and make steam, I would need to give you a 10 amp plug and then another plug to do espresso, which is not allowed, right? The alternative would be for me to give you weak steam while you made espresso, and then for the steam power to increase when your espresso ended, which would be a bad experience. No, we're not going to do steam during brew. We are making, as far as I'm concerned, the best steam in the world by going to super high temperatures, super high pressures, calibrated steam one tips. So this is Zuping's latest steam one tip. It needs cleaning. I've talked to my staff about that. But if you want steam while brew, get two machines. UL will not allow us to put two plugs. And my main goal is saving baristas time in cafes. And to do that, it's to give them more power. So that's an experimental 10 amp machine that is, we just ordered more heaters. 10 amps is the maximum we can do on a 230 line in a home. In order to go to 13, 15 amps, maybe even 20, we need to change the plug and the certification's different. And that's an R&D, and that might happen. But I don't, I mean, I've used machines that heat 200 mils in 6 seconds, and it just makes terrible foam. So if we're really fast, but the drink quality is poor, I don't think that's a gain.
Does like the shot when you're steaming milk, does the shot like die or lose, I don't know, quality because it's just sitting for a few, like 30 seconds, or
No,
does that not matter?
there is an argument that espresso gets bitter as soon as it cools, and
Yeah.
it's been well established that that's bullshit. The espresso is bitter. What is changing is your ability to taste it, and
Oh.
and that the hotter something is, the less you can taste. There's an increase in the ability to taste a liquid that increases until 30 Celsius. At 30 Celsius, you can now taste everything. When an espresso comes out and it's around 60 Celsius, you can't taste much. So when an espresso is going bitter as it cools, it's because it is bitter. And your ability to taste it is increasing as it cools. The World Barista Champion William Davies started a trend and then tried to convince the other people that he drinks his espressos cool. He lets them sit for several minutes, and he managed to convince most of the other World Barista Champions that he was absolutely bang on right. In fact, if you want to drink an espresso and really taste it, you should A, let it cool, B, dilute it.
Yeah, I know. I actually I have like an RO system, and it makes, like little perfect ice uh, cube things.
Yeah.
And I just put one of those in there, and people, I mean, everyone thinks it's weird, but I like it. So
yeah, and it tastes better.
Yeah.
Especially if you're doing light roast that's very floral or fruity. When that thing's really hot, you're just going to taste strong. So sorry if I react negatively, but no, I mean, I feel like we are where we are because we've made very different decisions to go high tech, to go sensor based, and to just be uncompromising that quality is the most important thing. I remember years ago, one of the top 2 biggest espresso machine companies said, come visit us. So you do. And at one point in the meeting, they said, our priorities for the company are number 1, speed. This is of the machine. Speed, reliability, and third is drink quality. Of the 3 priorities, drink quality is last. And I said, that's funny because I'm exactly the opposite. I'm drink quality number 1, reliability number 2, speed dead last. And they kind of
Yeah, I guess if you're in the home, it doesn't matter about speed if it takes you an extra minute.
I don't know. I think a cafes could, I think 80% of cafes make bad coffee. So I think there's a real opportunity for cafes to start making things their customers enjoy more. If they have to wait 10 seconds more.
Well, and the problem is easily solved by a second group in a cafe. Cafes are usually used to using 2 and 3 machines. Part of that is that they need the groups because they're all hands-on. With the DE, a lot of what they need to be doing, their hands are freed up because most of the processes are automated. And so to put an extra group onto Steam isn't, number one, it's super cost competitive on our end, and the Steam is really good. So, the other thing that when John said uncompromising and be who Decent Espresso is, it's also about the small footprint. You stuff a boiler, even if you put in an old school 2-ounce boiler and we do some magic to make that work better, it still makes the machine bigger. And the machine doesn't need to be big. It's already making the best espresso that you can make currently on any machine. And so you don't need a behemoth machine to do that. And yeah, you do give up the steam and brew, but a second head takes care of that.